Welcome to Cabbage's Radio Hub, where we talk about all your favorite films and TV shows. I'm your host, Cabbage, and joining with me today is my co-host, Classy. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Classy. I am with Cabbage today. We're going to talk about the Sonic movie too.
Yeah, Sonic movie 2, because everyone's talking about that and not Morbius.
Bruh.
Dude, like,
This is the
I
second.
I've seen like so many like more like memes about Morbius and how he's like sweeping the entire like film industry and he's got like
Oh my
999
god.
trillion million dollars in box office. Yeah, it's fucking
Oh my.
hilarious to see Morbius. I haven't seen it. I have AMC Stubs member tickets, and where I can get like a free movie every like a week. Like I can see like 3 movies every week. I'm still probably not gonna see Morbius with my free ticket.
Bruh, I'd rather go see like Multiverse and the Doctor Strange movie that's coming up than Morbius. No, I didn't. I lost this movie that movie got delayed so many times. I just lost interest in it, and
Ye-
it kind of looks a bit interesting, but like I honestly just don't didn't care at the end of the day.
okay, but to be fair, as the Sonic movie has proven, delayed movies are not always bad. Because the Sonic movie was delayed for over a year, and the first movie ended up
Mm.
pretty good. At least effect wise, obviously.
Yeah, the first movie is like it has its own issues. Like you rewatch it, but it's at least it feels like a movie that has Sonic in it. The sequel just feels like is a movie about Sonic.
Yeah, it's definitely like a lot more like a Sonic, like a more video game adaptation movie than the first one, where it's just like kind of a movie
Mm.
with Sonic in it, which I don't necessarily have too much of a problem with, since the movie in of itself is all right. But I guess like the main problem I had with the first movie is that it's definitely more towards directed towards kids than the second one. And while like the second one does have its times where it's directed specifically towards kids, there are a lot more times where adults can enjoy the movie more than kids.
Mm.
Like there are more horror moments where adults can enjoy it than there are where it's just kiddie filler.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So our So what are you gonna do? Like, do we talk about? Do you want to talk about like give our initial review before we go into spoilers, or are we just like
yeah. So
shove?
first let's just go into our like spoiler free thoughts before we go into our
Mm.
spoiler territory, because there is a lot of spoilers for this movie. So
Oh boy,
so Classy, what are your spoiler free thoughts on the movie?
I like the movie. I think all the actors did a wonderful job, especially like Eris and then Colleen. I hope you get that big paycheck because you did a wonderful family's job, voicing Tails. I like Ben Schwartz Sonic. He feels like he feels like actual Sonic. I like all the characters. I think Jim Carrey was just really was great. Did his performance really well. Show off the craziness that that Robotnik is. And
Yeah,
honestly,
Robotnik is
I
definitely
really
like a
did like
great character, like overall, and Jim Carrey definitely
yeah.
sells that character very well.
Yeah. There is some awkward scenes, but like it's overall the movie feels more enjoyable. Like you feel like you can rewatch this movie more than the first one. And I just
Yeah,
like the fact that Knuckles and Sonic has kind of throughout the film build this relationship, and same thing goes for him and Tails, and that Sonic needs to find something about for himself, you know. And well, that's pretty much it. I have to say about.
yeah. There's really like a lot of good things that this movie does a lot better than the first movie. And obviously, like
Mm.
one of the reasons that it feels like more like a Sonic movie, whereas the first one just feels like, Sonic's just in the movie. But
Yeah.
I think that this is more towards like where longtime Sonic fans can enjoy this more than just like any kid who's like picked up a Sonic game can enjoy. And yeah, like you said, there are like some unbearable like kiddie filler moments, but it's definitely a lot more scarce than the first movie, so I do like that. And I think
Mm.
just the overall introduction to Knuckles really does set the stage for what the rest of like this franchise is going to be, because Knuckles in particular is definitely a
Mm.
more like mature character than what we're used to seeing in Sonic.
Oh yeah. So like over the years, like Knuckles got degraded. No thanks no part thanks to Sega himself,
Yeah.
and it's real. It's just nice to see that at least the writers got went back to formula. You know, he's not that smart, but like he's not like really like it's like he's not like a dummy. He's just not that. He's like ignorant. He's not. He just doesn't know the world that much.
He's a little more like, I would say he's a little more concrete on his own morality rather than focusing on like what's in front of him. He's more focused on like his honor and his like loyalty as a warrior than he is at looking at the bigger picture and anything. So I don't think it makes him dumb. I just think it makes him a little clueless, which I think is perfect for Knuckles' character as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that one thing that this movie, like, if we're looking at like how it is as an actual movie, I think that both the acting and the cinematography of this movie is definitely improved from the first movie. Because I mean, honestly, in both movies, the acting was really good in both movies, but this one really sold it. And I think that's mainly because the actors are just having a really fun time. You can easily tell that every single actor is just loving their role, especially Idris Elba and Jim Carrey.
Mm.
Yeah, and this is literally like the only role Jim Carrey has ever reprised in. Like he's never like reprised a single role until Sonic 2. And I think this is really
Yeah.
interesting.
This is like his biggest debut. That's really surprising. Like the man, like the most he ever did was like I think was like dumbasses two. I think if I remember the sequel to like the movie where him and his buddy they was like doing like they're like kind of complete idiots or what are they called
Dumber and Dumber, I
movie
think you're talking about.
yeah Dumb and Dumber yeah
Yeah, he's been in a lot. He's been in a lot. Like he is always just a great actor. It's just that he hasn't been in all these like big time movies, if that makes sense.
yeah
Yeah, like he's just been in a lot of like small movies and TV shows.
yeah no, I think the most popular one mostly people know him for is The Mask.
Yeah, The Mask, obviously, and then he's also playing like The Grinch Stole Christmas, yada yada yada. Like Jim Carrey overall is just an amazing actor. It's just that he hasn't really been in like these big time Hollywood movies outside of like a few, obviously.
Like Batman
Yeah,
and
he's
Robin.
been like Batman Begins. I know that much.
Batman no I think it's something like that not Batman Begins so what is that called movie
No,
called
no, Batman Forever. I'm sorry.
yeah Batman Forever.
But yeah, no, it's honestly great to see him like reprise a role in a movie, and it's honestly he like a shame because this is apparently like supposedly his last movie because he is retiring either soon or immediately. It like even he said himself like in an interview that if like he's given like God like a holy script that he'll maybe play again, but as it is right now, he is retiring. So that's really just a shame to see this actor because I really think that he is an amazing actor that really has had very little like he hasn't like been in too many like huge movies, but I think that going out in the first ever movie has ever reprised a role in is something really amazing.
Hold on.
Oh, okay, well he's going on mute, so while he's waiting, like I said, the other great things about this movie is the cinematography because this movie did not need to go hard with its shots. Like its overall like shots and effects are just really great, and they are such an improvement from the first movie. And as a film itself, I think there are a lot of like really amazing shots, especially in like the final acts of the movie. And I think that it's really unwarranted for a Sonic movie of all things. But then again, I'm an all-time Sonic fan, so that's really just a treat to see. It's amazing to see. And then I guess another positive about this movie is that unlike the first movie, you don't hate yourself like most of the time through. Like there are like the first movie was fun for sure, but there are more times where you did not want to be there than there were in the second movie, because again there was like more kitty filler in the first movie than the second one. So in this movie, it's just you have a lot more fun as an adult than you would when you're seeing the first movie. Oh, he's back.
Yeah, I'm back. Mike's gonna be a bit different, so I'm using my headphones now.
Oh my god. All right, yeah, go ahead. All right, so anyways, I think that pretty much wraps up everything for spoiler-free territory, unless you have anything else to say, Classy.
I got nothing else to say.
So this is time to click off if you have not seen the Sonic 2 movie. And I give you 10 seconds while he comes back, I think. There's gonna be this awkward silence. Okay, spoilers in three, two, one. Sonic fucking dies. I'm kidding, he doesn't. But that tricked you. But no, he didn't die. He actually did almost die later in the movie, but he didn't die.
Uh, you didn't die.
No, he didn't. He
That's
got
funny.
close, but he didn't. Okay, so
Well,
back going to spoiler territory in this movie, I think like the most major spoilery thing I need to talk about is Knuckles in particular, because I think that his character as a whole is just really interesting, and his history with the echidnas and like long claw species. I don't know what to call it. I don't think he ever said. But I think like with
I think
long
they
claw
call it Owl
species,
Clown.
the owl what?
The Owl Clan.
The Owl Clan, yeah, yeah. So I think like his
Yeah.
history between the Owl Clan and the echidnas is really interesting for me, because it kind of has a revisionist history storyline behind it where either side of the story could have been good or bad. In this case, it's with the Chaos Emeralds, which is a really interesting direction to take the Chaos Emeralds in, where they were once used by the Echidnas as a source of power, but then the Owl Clan went and took it away. And then there's just been never-ending war between the Echidnas and the Owl Clan, which eventually led to why Knuckles is attacking Sonic and why he decided to follow Eggman. And it's kind of weird because either way, it feels like both sides are in the wrong, because while the Owl Clan was right to protect it, they were essentially keeping it away from the people that had the right to have it, like had the sworn duty to protect it. But the Echidnas, on the other hand, misuse that power. And I think I really would have loved to see that storyline explored a little more. But the sad thing is that with its 2 hour runtime, there wasn't too much to really explore. And that it was just kind of brushed off like halfway through the movie.
hmm The thing that's different is that in the games we don't know that much about the KS Emerald, because even the manuals it keeps switching to each island, and that's the I like that this movie made like the source of the thing, because like in the games the Master Emerald is its own thing, and so as the Chaos Emeralds and as well as the Super Emeralds. But I like that the fact that the movie was like the seven Chaos all made up that Master Emerald, so that it created its own lore, and the fact that the Echidnas misused that power in order like for the owls and the Echidnas to have a war due to the fact that one race used the powers of the Master Emerald wrongly. for like their own good days.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I like really the whole scene where they're explaining like the mass emeralds and like the history behind the chaos emeralds was animated so fucking beautifully for no reason. Like that was like some Spider-Verse level animation. Like holy shit. Like I love the 3D like sort of the 3D animation where it's like you have this rocky texture behind the models, and it just feels like you're basically going back in time, and the whole scene looks so beautiful for no reason. I mean, it's a fucking Sonic movie. They did not need to go that hard.
Yeah, it goes really good. I like what's weird. Like all the reviews I've been seeing, they talk about two particular scenes they have problem with. So I want to know if you have this agree with them. So the two scenes most people have a problem with is the dance scene and the wedding scene.
Okay, the dance scene was fun, but again, it's more so kid filler because it really didn't have a reason to be there other than to kind of grow more connected with Tails and Sonic, which I do
Mm,
like, but at the same time I felt like it could have been handled a little bit better, because I mean
mm,
at the end of the day it's just kind of kid filler that really could have been like changed a little more, because I feel like dance scenes as a whole just aren't that intriguing to me at building like a relationship with each other, because I feel like I don't know. I feel like it could have been handled completely differently. Even though I still do like Tails' and Sonic's relationship, because it's definitely like a love letter to Tails and Sonic's relationship as a whole in the games, and it really tries to stick with that same exact relationship in the movie. So I do really like that, and it's just overall just a wholesome experience between them. And I do like how they took Sonic's character when they met Tails, because at the start I really thought that he was going to be like this lone wolf that tried to do everything himself without Tails, but when Tails came and was like, "Oh, I'm such a huge fan, and we're kind of the same," he completely like took him under his wing and was fully acceptant of him, because that's what because that's just who he is as a person. But I mean that was like a great thing into his growth, because we see Sonic at the beginning just not really taking responsibility for other people, and that's how you see him like destroy Seattle, where he just completely like
mm.
bots the whole operation with him trying to save the people. And you really get to see Sonic like connect with this person and then ultimately fail when he nearly gets Tails killed, and because of his actions, because he allowed him to be a part of this dangerous situation. Like he even like said at the beginning, like, "I'm not gonna let anything happen to you," and then lo and behold, he gets blown the fuck up later on. And it's because, and not because Sonic like refuses to let Tails in, it's that he kind of rushes into things. So I do
Yeah,
like that different direction that they took Sonic, because it was definitely something unpredictable, and I completely thought he was going to be like the more lone wolf type where he kind of pushes away Tails, and that's what causes Tails to get hurt, but it's the complete opposite. And
yeah.
yeah, and
No,
for the wedding scene, I I really did not like where it was going, because I really didn't like how the humans was spent too much time on. But then
mm-hmm.
it kind of all changed where all of a sudden fucking gun starts coming out and like taking Sonic and Tom away, and how it's like a
See
big
that
setup.
you see that's the part. Like everyone keeps saying the wedding scene took too long, but like I like the fact that they introduced Gun, because like it's like they say the wedding scene should be cut, but like the wedding scene also introduced Gun, and that's like I like the fact that everyone was Asian. Everyone was
Yeah,
Asian.
literally
I thought
everyone was a single agent. Yeah.
Asian, except for like Tom and Maddie, but like, it was just funny. I thought it
Yeah.
was funny. I guess the part where they should have just at least cut it was like when the after the reveal, they reveal everyone was done. Was when Maddie was trying to chase down her quote unquote fiance. I can't
No, no,
say.
Matt. It wasn't. What was her name again? It wasn't Maddie. It was
It was Rachel.
Yeah, Rachel. Yeah, yeah,
It was
that's who it
Rachel.
was.
Rachel. It was Rachel.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it was a little dumb. It was a little dumb fun, but honestly, like, it's still a fun scene regardless. I do think like it should have been at least shortened, if not cut
Mhm.
out, like mostly. But I do think it was
Mhm.
just overall fun experience, and I just overall
Mhm.
enjoy the fact how Gunn just completely like was setting up this entire wedding scene, which at first I thought it was just gonna be like half an hour of like a pointless wedding scene, just interrupted by Sonic. But then all of a sudden it turns this big operation with Gun, and I love the introduction with Gun here. I really do,
Yeah, and
because
that's what
it
it is. Season.
yeah, it
That's the
definitely
season.
like subverted my expectations of what like the importance of the humans were going to be. And yeah, while it is kind of a cheap way to write out Sonic and Tails for a little bit, even though like the best parts of the movie, it is at least a little fun setup to later on in the movie to what's going to happen, which we'll get into later.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that seeing Gun was a nice touch to everything, and it really like cut away all the unnecessary bullshit with the wedding, even though there still kind of was some of that. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
think yeah, going back to Knuckles, I think that his character is definitely very well written in this movie, and how he kind of interacts with Dr.
Mhm.
Eggman, where Dr. Eggman like keeps leaving these like little hints for Knuckles to figure out like, oh, friendship is useless, and oh, like he's just some pawn. And Knuckles just kind of looks at him funny, like he's trying to like slowly puzzle the piece together. And but the weird thing is it still doesn't hit him entirely by the end, like when Eggman eventually betrays him. And I don't know how I feel about that. But yeah, I think that Knuckles like slowly learning about Eggman's betrayal is a good thing, but the weird thing is that he never kind of figures it out, and that Sonic has to blatantly tell him. And this is a very weird line for Knuckles where he goes to Eggman, it's like, I thought you were my friend. I'm like, really? Like you were even like questioning like what the things he was saying.
Yeah. It's so weird because I mean, he was questioning some stuff he said too. Like you just saw the confusion in his face, like when like it was like together. But I do like the fact that both Knuckles and Sonic are similar. Like they have that one connecting thread that they both lost everything in that day, and then they just both they used to be both lonely, and I really like that.
Yeah, I think
They
it's
like it,
a very wholesome connection between them, and the fact that like they were kind of told the same thing where they wanted to be the hero, like they wanted to help save the day, and then they had that one person tell them it's not your time. And I think that really does help kind of connect the whole message of the story together, is that your day as a hero or like as a role model will come, but that moment will choose you, and you will just instantly know. Like you can't just force that into your life. It has to come naturally. And I
mhm.
think it's a great way to connect that theme together with the connection of Knuckles and Sonic. But again, I do think it could be handled a little better.
Mhm.
Like I think that at least I think like the thing I had wrong with the themes and like kind of the whole message they're trying to convey is just through the dialogue, and how the dialogue could have been slightly different. Like going back to like the whole history between the Owl Clan and the Echidnas, where like at the end of the movie you see Supersonic, and which by the way is a really cool design. I love Supersonic in that scene.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that
Supersonic versus the Death Egg
iconic.
was fucking great. I love
I
like the
love
little
it.
like I love like the little tippy toe he did at the end because he's like, oh, it's just like that, huh? Like that was fucking great. That was like a total Sonic thing to do. And I do like
Yeah.
how, at the end he kind of gave out the power, and Tails like, well, why'd you give out that power? You had all that power in the universe. And this is where like the dialogue could have been a little bit better, where like Sonic could have done something like, well, this is what happened with the Echidnas and the Owl Clan. They misused their power, and this is what happened. Like that's what caused all that pain and suffering. Why I'm ending it here. But instead, he kind of looks at Tom as like, "Oh, I'm just a kid." Like, what? What? You had the perfect opportunity.
I just didn't mind it. I just like the fact that he just gave up the power and he just didn't want to like just, use it for the wrong thing.
Yeah,
You
I
know.
do like that the mass emerald. I do like how the mass emerald is designed in this movie, where it just kind of absorbs into you and it tries to take control of you, and that's what it did for Eggman, and that's what it did for the Echidnas, and that's what it was
Mm,
trying to do for Sonic. But Sonic, like as we've seen, has a bigger heart than anyone that like the Owl Clan or Long Claw's ever seen, and that's what kind of stopped him from getting controlled from the Master Emerald. And I do like how the Master
mm.
Emerald is sort of um like an incentive to abuse its power, but Sonic is the only person not to abuse it. I do like that. I think that really works well for his character.
Yeah, it was well.
Yeah, but like going back to like what he said, Tom is like, "Oh, I still have some growing up to do." That kind of like throws in my next problem, which is the fact that they like played it into how he was a kid for way too long. Like they kind of treated like Sonic as Tom and Maddie's surrogate son, and that's just like kind of weird. Like I know it makes sense given the first movie, but it just felt very weird to me.
I really, it kind of is funny, but like it makes the last scene with all three of them, it's just like kind of adorable.
Yeah, like
Like I like the
yeah, it's
it's,
kind of wholesome, but yeah, it's like a very wholesome experience, which is pretty much what this whole movie is. It's this very wholesome and fun experience that really you won't know. I don't think that anybody will really hate themselves into going and watching.
yeah.
No, what else? I'm trying to think of what else happened in the movie. Oh yeah,
Well,
Doctor Stone. Yeah, Doctor Stone was great. I love how they're just like not hinting at all about Doctor Stone's and Robotnik's relationship.
I love the fact that like this man is like falling in love with his man.
Yeah, it's
It's
so
like
fucking great.
he, it's like he makes a coffee with his face with his
Yeah, yeah,
with Doctor Robotnik's face, and when Eggman called him, he made another one with him and
yeah,
himself. Like wow.
yeah. And I love how like his secret password for the fucking for like the code is iced latte, steamed ice goat milk. Like that was great. I loved it. Speaking of
Yeah.
like Robotnik like absorbing the power of the Master Emerald was probably the coolest idea I've ever seen in a Sonic piece of media. Like I
Yeah.
I
I
saw the trailers for it. I'm like, why haven't they done this before?
they technically they did before, but it was like not in the games. However, they did that in the show because like have you ever watched The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog? they
I
did have the Chaos Emerald. They
yeah,
did have the
I
Chaos Emerald in there.
watched that as a kid, but like I haven't seen that like forever, dude.
No, because like they had a 4-part episode, right? And Robotnik gets the 4 Chaos Emeralds, well, with the 4 Power Emeralds, and he becomes like this powerful version. Like it's like normally it happens in the comics in the show, and like the like even in the Fleetway comics where Robotnik got the emerald and he became really powerful. So like this is the first time you ever see it in a movie. They do it in a movie, like, and I like this. I just it felt a bit awkward to me because they had this like I don't know how to describe it. He had this weird voice, monotone voice.
Yeah,
It
that
felt a
that
bit
was kind
awkward.
of weird. Like it was like kind of like distorted voice. I get what you're saying. I kind of wish
Yeah.
like it kept his original voice, but I mean it's whatever. Like you kind of have like chaos energy just kind of like flowing through you, so it makes sense. I love like when he gets the mask and he's like chaos is here. Like that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they
So
build like the fucking like 100-foot death egg robot.
yeah, that thing is like huge. Like
Yeah.
like that thing is bigger than like the one in the games. Like that thing is big.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, the final battle of the movie was honestly like great throughout the whole thing. Like, you got like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles all together at once, just like planning out how to defeat the Death Egg. And it's just
Mm-hmm.
really cool to see how like, and you see like Tails like multiplying himself, Knuckles like punching him through like the core of the Death Egg. It was so cool to see, man.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's like that Sonic Heroes moment, and they did some
Yeah.
cool effort. They did some cool efforts in there.
Dude, like there was so
I
many like good references in this movie. Like you have
have you do you know when Sonic was drowning, they played the drowning music?
yeah,
It's
I
just
noticed that too. I like there was
I,
like a very faint like I
yeah, it's
was
really
like, yo.
I didn't hear it when I was watching it, but I heard I can't hear about it and then I heard the soundtrack. I was like, oh, wait, I kind of hear it.
Yeah, like you hear and
I,
then you like see him like gulp a bubble of air. I'm like, yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's cool. Yeah, but there's
the
some
fact
really
is,
great references to this movie. Like you have like
yeah, and
Labyrinth
the
Hills,
fact,
like Labyrinth Zone.
yeah,
Like there's a little nod
yeah,
to that.
yeah, like I like the fact that the master was in Labrador because like in the games, that area makes sense. Booby traps, water,
Yeah,
Labrador, like
it's
it just
great. And then
yeah.
I think just seeing like some of the references to like the stages, like the most popular stages of Sonic, is just really cool.
Oh
Like you
yeah,
got Ice Cap Zone, you got
I got
Mushroom Plant Zone, obviously.
basically every like they reference everything like when it comes to Sonic it's so boring because like this Ice Cap is the Sonic Adventure stage. There's also the Sonic 06 stage.
Yeah.
Those are three references.
Yeah, I
And
honestly like the whole like sequence where he's like in the city, like trying to fight off like the bad guys. Just reminds me of like the beginning of Sonic Adventure 1. It's like, oh yeah, this is happening.
yeah, this is
I'm actually really mad that he did not say that.
I guess. Oh man, that would be funny. That would be a cool reference right there.
I'm pretty sure like they also mentioned like year two slows somewhere else. I can't remember where. I think it might have been in
I
the
didn't.
dance scene. I think.
I remember you saying I gotta go fast.
Yeah,
Is
he
the
said
if I
gotta go
remember.
fast when he was like running on the water, which was a great
Yeah,
scene. Like again, like
yeah.
this
I
movie
like the
did not
fact.
need to look so goddamn good, but it just
I
did.
love the. I love the fact that he failed because that just shows like he's not perfect running on water. Like
Yeah, because it's
just,
literally like first time running on water.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I like that.
Yeah, but that brings me back to just how great this movie looks, like cinematography wise, like the camera shots, the
Oh,
effects, like everything looks so goddamn good for no reason. Like it's
the
a Sonic
visuals.
movie. Who are you trying
Yeah,
to impress?
bro, it looks so good, and like the robot looks good, the effects looks good.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, and
I
then
feel
like the final battle between like Sonic and Eggman, and when I saw like the Mass Emerald shatter, I saw like the Chaos Emerald start to come out. I was like, no. It's like,
like
oh yeah, here we go.
I see. I knew like the Master Emerald. I kind of compared it like yeah, Supersonic really in the movie. I thought about it. I just don't know when. And then
Yeah,
they showed him. I was like, oh. I saw and the case Emerald looks so tiny. It's so tiny. Like it's like really tiny.
yeah, it's
Like they're
yeah. The
not like
Chaos
in the
Emeralds are
games.
very
They're like you can
small.
hold them. They're really small. Like they were really tiny. Like in the games you could hold them.
Yeah, and then yeah, the whole fight between Super Sonic and the Death Egg was great because Sonic just instantly like cut off the head to Death Egg, and Eggman tried to go for like a sneak attack, but then Sonic's like, nope,
Mm-hmm.
bye. Like there's your hand, goodbye.
It catches with one hand. That's just.
Yeah, and it just instantly shatters. Like that was so great. And then like,
and,
yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Eggman for the next movie because we know that Eggman
oh
isn't
no,
dead.
no! You ready? You ready? No, you ready? No,
I already
you
know.
ready?
Yeah,
No,
I already know
you
because
you already know.
but
Let's
like here's the
talk
weird thing
about.
because no, here's the weird thing though because we know that like for the most part Eggman is like Jim Carrey as an actor is retiring either soon or like very
Mm,
soon, but I don't know if who's going to be casted as Eggman in the next movie because we know he isn't dead
oh no,
because
they said that they won't recast them. That's what they said. They won't recast them.
well, hopefully
So
he does because it depends on like if he's retiring now or after like the filming of Sonic 3, which I guess is a good way to talk about the post-credit
think about
scene where like
it.
the gun
Yeah,
agents come up and I was like,
yeah.
so we found documents and like what were they for? It's like coordinates. I'm like,
And what?
no.
And she 50 wait. She said
And
50
then
years.
and
I
then
was
the
like,
research
yeah.
facility opened and I was like, "Oh god, Project Shadow."
Oh,
Dude. Like when I
like,
saw
all
that,
right.
man, I fucking
I,
screamed.
then I didn't want to post it on Twitter because it was spoiling, but like I
Yeah.
wanted to just like I wanted to tweet Sonic the
Man,
Hedgehog,
dude.
please. I wanted to tweet, please recreate the scene. It's the scene when Sonic and Shadow turns into the super form. I was like, I
Dude,
said,
like
please recreate that scene.
yeah,
And then
Shadow
and it's
in
like
this
a
movie is going to be great.
oh man, I'm so ready. Like I can't wait to the advantage that Sonic and Shadow's gonna have. It's gonna be
Yeah.
just like a Sonic Adventure 2. I can't. I hope
Yeah,
they
it's
do a
definitely
lot
gonna
of
be
references to
like
that game.
more towards like Sonic Adventure 2 where they might like go on the arc and maybe there's like stuff on the Bio Lizard and Gerald
Oh
Robotnik.
no, like
Dude,
they're in
I
space.
cannot wait for that, man.
I tell you, if they go into space, that budget, that they're gonna make a lot of money. If they
Yeah.
that movie, like their movie, gonna make a lot of money if they do the fight in space and they recreate the scene when
Oh
it
my
goes
god,
super.
man.
God, I'm gonna, I'm sorry, I'm gonna scream
Yeah, it's
because
gonna be so great. Speaking of which, I kind of wish that there were more like Sonic-esque OSTs in this movie. Like there definitely was some, like obviously the like the
oh
drowning
yeah,
scene. I think
it
like a
had a
couple
few.
of like a couple
I
of
think
OSTs here and there.
I think towards the end of the not like before they play baseball, they play a theme. I don't know what was. It still something starring up in theme.
Yeah, I definitely didn't catch that, but honestly, like what I wanted to hear more was what I really wanted to hear was like the Sonic Adventure Eggman OST, just like in a more like obviously to fit like the
On
scene
its own.
of yeah, where he's like, I am the Eggman. Dude, like if I heard that like doing a montage of Eggman, I would have fucking screamed in that theater. I would have legit screamed in front of the 6 or 7 people still in that theater along with their children.
Yeah, a lot of my dear, some kids brought their plushies. I secretly brought my plushie. I brought two. I brought my Sonic plushie and my Pikachu plushie to watch the movie with me.
Yeah, but yeah, I do like some of the additions to the Sonic OSTs in the movie a lot more than the first one was literally just like Green Hill Zone.
Oh yeah, and let's like I like the end credits scene is way better. The first one, 'cause I didn't like the first one. I didn't like the first one end song either, because like it just felt so weird.
Yeah, it's
Like
kind of weird.
Amy, like what?
Yeah, it's kind of weird like hearing pop songs along with Sonic. It's just kind of weird. But I mean, the pixel animation was very nice. I did like the pixel animation.
I mean, Sonic and pop song. I kind of just feel like that just makes sense to me, because like the dude comes from like I think it was born in an era where like rock and pop songs were like blossoming.
Yeah, obviously it makes sense, but I don't know. Pop references to Sonic just don't mesh well with me, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it's more like a rock song.
Yeah, but like even though I kind of knew Shadow was gonna be a thing in Sonic the Hedgehog 3 because they like kind of announced officially that Sonic 3 and like a Knuckles TV show was happening. And I saw like the Red 3.
Oh
I
man,
kind of knew that Shadow was going to be in the third movie, but still like seeing like his whole model in the post credit scene, like dude, it looks so great.
oh yeah. I'm like we always kind of expect it's gonna be like Sonic, but like just like the movie version of Shadow. Like it's gonna be like similar to Sonic, but there's gonna be like his clothes are up and all that stuff.
Yeah, I like I really don't know where they're going to take the third movie because I'm assuming it's gonna be like
um,
more towards like Sonic Adventure 2,
Sonic
but
Adventure 2.
it's obviously
They
going
won't.
to fit like more well
I
integrated with the
guess
story of the first two movies, right? Like the universe within it.
I I don't think they could kind of do somewhat Avengers 2 story. I think the parts where it won't kind of work is it's like it kind of could work, but like I guess it's like let's see like Sonic getting arrested again, Sonic getting arrested from Prison Island,
Yeah, I
Sonic
don't know
versus
what they're
Shadow.
gonna do with it. It's really
Yeah,
weird.
yeah. So like whatever they do with Shadow, I hope they do him justice. Don't make him into an edgy character like Sega has.
Yeah,
Make
like
him to a character
it
we all remember.
Sega's like really weird with understanding their own characters because like during the introductions they're great, but as time goes along they just kind of come off as completely different characters.
Yeah, that's the example for Tails, Knuckles, Shadow. Hell, I can't even say Sonic because like it's just Sonic staying the same. It's just like it, all these writers from comics, from TV shows, they have these interesting ideas like, oh, Sonic can, and then Sega's like, oh, well, Sega Japan like, oh, Sonic can have a relationship because that's not Dame Sonic. Funny.
Yeah, but then Sonic 06 happened, but we don't talk about that.
We don't talk
Yeah,
about
yeah,
Sonic
that's
oh
like
06.
that's in the wrong for so many other reasons. But yeah, Sega
oh,
definitely has a hard
oh,
time understanding their own characters like after a long time, and I think that's just because Sonic as a franchise has been going on for so long that they're just really struggling to find ideas of what to do with. But I think this trilogy or cinematic universe is definitely what Sonic really needed because it's kind of like
yeah,
bringing Sonic back to its roots, like bringing like the whole
yeah.
thing back to
Uh,
what it once was.
I'm glad that Sonic broke the video game adaptation curse.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
so, yeah,
glad.
yeah.
I'm
Sonic the
glad.
Hedgehog 2 is literally the best video game adaptation movie. And honestly,
Yeah,
like while
literally.
that isn't like a very high bar, it's still great to see.
Oh no, it's not. It's like I think it's not. I think it's still a high bar because like that is a video game adaptation. You know, most adaptations of other stuff usually be like horrible. Like especially when it comes to
Yeah.
anime, especially anime. Like I can say like there's one decent anime adaptation. I think it's like that one with the robot girl. That one, not the not a Ghost in the Shell one. The other robot stuff. That's the only one, decent one. Other than that, the rest of the anime adaptations suck. But at least Sonic made him like a something for himself, where he could be like he could be like well known in the cinematic universe, have his own interactions. They could do whatever they want. They have their own screen realm because that's their own universe. Kind of like what the writers did in in the comics and stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely like a good way to reset Sonic and like the type of character he was, and also all the other characters, just to kind of like bring them back to who they once was and kind of see the glory days of Sonic all over again. And I do think that we're going to see much more improvements in the third movie because I think that while Knuckles didn't necessarily carry the whole movie, I do think that Knuckles is a good introduction as to introducing like a more mature story towards like Sonic, because like the first movie was like basically like a road trip hit movie like the whole time, but the second movie
Yeah.
definitely like had a more like interesting and mature storyline where you had like revisiting his history and with the Chaos Emeralds, and you have like the messages behind like heroism, and I think it's just really great to see, and it's really like showing off the full potential of what Sonic as a whole could be. And if Knuckles did all that by just existing, I really cannot wait to see what Shadow of all characters can bring. Because Shadow is the darkest character in the Sonic universe. And I think that seeing him like integrated into a movie would be really interesting and great to see, given how we saw Knuckles, which came off as
Mhm.
both badassery and hilarious at the same time.
I can't wait. Whoever voices Shadow does a good job, and like what, and I really wish, I really hope that they do. I know they're gonna do Shadow. Like they're gonna definitely do Shadow's story because his story is really tragic. Like he's
Yeah.
like I think he's the most tragic backstory of Sonic character I could think of. So I hope they do him well.
Yeah, honestly, like if I had one hope, it would be for Shadow to be voice acted by like the voice actor of Lelouch and Code Geass. I can't remember the voice actor name.
Which one?
The you know the voice actor for Lelouch and Code Geass?
Oh, you mean Johnny? You mean John? You want Johnny to voice him?
Yeah, I think that Johnny would be honestly a really great like voice actor for Shadow, because it kind of shows off like the sinister, cynical, calculated voice for Shadow, and I think it will just really work well for the character.
I'm not saying that's like a bad pick. That's just
Yeah,
so awkward
Johnny
for
Young
me.
Bosch.
Yeah, Johnny. Yeah, I'm not saying Johnny's a bad choice. I just I don't see it.
I mean,
I
I
know
kind of
Johnny.
do.
I don't. That's just me. I know Johnny's a good actor. Like he's
Yeah,
like despite what happened in 2019, and I don't want
yeah,
to repeat
yeah.
that whole mess. Johnny is a good actor. Um, a lot of people be saying like, what's his name? Keanu Reeves might voice Shadow. Like, how we
Keanu.
could
I
see
mean,
it.
I guess I could see Keanu, but really, I just think that Lelouch's like kind of cynical, tyrannical, like this
Yeah, I see where you're
voice
coming from.
would
I'm
work
not saying,
perfectly for the character. But obviously, there's going to be
yeah,
like different interpretations for like how the character will see like voice acting wise. But I think
yeah.
that like Johnny Young would be just a perfect voice actor for Shadow, if they obviously can't get the original voice actor.
No, there's three of them. So
Well, there's three of them. Like the one from Sonic 06, let's say. Like just as a reference. I don't actually know the
oh yeah,
voice actor.
Jason is Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Jason's
Yeah,
voice. Yeah, Jason voiced both Sonic and Shadow.
yeah. Jason Griffith. Yeah,
Yeah, Jason. He voiced both of them.
yeah. He's a
I
good
think his
voice actor.
yeah, Jason. Yeah, Jason. Oh, Jason's always a good voice actor.
Yeah, pretty much.
You should watch Sonic R. You watch Sonic Tales in R? Oh man, that's a good. That's a. I heard his Shadow. God, I God, it felt like
I guess also
his
like
voice.
the more the approach to where like he kind of sounds like what he is in Sonic Boom would be nice. Like I wouldn't say like the same voice actor, but it's
Actor.
kind of like a similar approach to like what the voice sounds
Yeah.
like.
I forgot the guy's name. His name is something. Cause it's the first actor. I forgot his name, and I know the other actor. Maybe that the third actor starts with a K, something like that. I gotta look it
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, but honestly like Sonic 2 as a whole is definitely a huge improvement for the first one. It definitely does have problems that, being directed more towards kids, but again, there's a lot more that adults can enjoy than they would have in the first movie. And it's overall just a really fun experience that you can definitely enjoy. And if you can't enjoy like the storyline, which kind of falls flat in some places and it's a little rushed and kind of a mess, you can at least appreciate like the voice acting and just how the all the actors are really having fun with their roles. And it really is a shame because at the end of the day, this is all because of the NPC's sacrifice and having to put their heart and soul into redesigning the first movie, only to get later shut down because they just could not keep afloat. And it's honestly
Mm-hmm.
just a sad story to see just how the company that quite literally revived and brought back this franchise and like gave us what we have today is no longer like a thing. Like it doesn't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but honestly, like I really do appreciate what the NPC has done for the movie, and I do appreciate what all of the actors and the writers have done for the characters. As a Sonic movie as a whole, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 is an easy 10 out of 10. Like, without a doubt. Like, if you're a Sonic fan, you're going to absolutely love this movie. As, like,
Yeah.
an overall film, like I said, there are a couple places where the story falls flat and it kind of all over the place. But the characters are just very wholesome and
Yeah.
interactions with each other are great and the dynamics work very well towards like the overall message. And I think that the characters are like the first movie, the best parts about this movie as well. So if we're talking about like as an overall film, I would say give it like a 7 out of 10. That would 7 or 8 out of
Mhm.
10. Like it did what it
Yeah.
accomplished.
I personally give it like an 8 out of 10. It's
Yeah.
really like the first movie. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. It was okay. It got
I
like 6, 7, like 6.5 on
Yeah, as an
rewatch,
overall
but
film, I gave like in my Sonic review video, as an overall film, I gave the first Sonic movie a 6 out of 10 because it was definitely a little
yeah,
more unbearable to watch at parts.
yeah. But
Yeah,
like
but
this movie is definitely like an
yeah,
improvement. This movie like it like definitely for a Sonic fan. If you're like an average movie goer, it's like you give it a 7. If like you're a Sonic fan, you're definitely gonna give it like a 9 or 10. It's like for me in total, like give this movie an 8 out of 10, like overall, because like, I think it's like a good movie for like Sonic fans, and then they give an
yeah,
alright movie for like people to watch it, because they can understand how the characters are and then see how their relationship is built up, and then I like characterize the human characters. Like I don't mind human characters, but it is written well. Like I don't mind human characters. It
yeah.
just
Like the
didn't
human
really
characters are
well.
all right. It's just that in this movie, I really would appreciate a little less time towards them because I feel like
Yeah.
they did their purpose in the first movie and they should have been pushed out a little more often in this movie. But unfortunately, that kind of could not happen. But I think
Yeah.
as a whole, you can definitely see that there was a lot of ambition behind the story and the lore behind the Sonic universe in this movie.
Yep.
But due to the production and the runtime of this movie, that obviously couldn't get done. And I guess the company just kind of took a step in and decided that they needed more time to focus on the human characters and appeal to more children, which is fine. I mean, it definitely works as a kids movie, but I do think there was a lot more enjoyment as an adult than it was in the first movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, I think let's go wrap it up. Do you have any final thoughts on Classy?
Nope. I just wait. I just hope whoever voiced the child does a good job, and I can't wait to see the third movie, man.
Yeah, I already see Voods' bat tits.
Yeah, yeah. Watch Sonic 2. Watch Sonic 2.
Yeah,
And do
no,
not watch Morbius.
yeah, don't watch Morbius, but watch Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Skip the Marvel
Yeah,
movie.
Morbius waste your time.
Yeah.
Morbius is a waste your time. Sony
Yeah, it's not
does
even
not
worth
know
your
what
free
they're
ticket off of your subscription that you pay $20 a month for.
doing.
But anyways, let's go wrap it up. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the little notification bell so you get notified when future content releases. And that's gonna be it. I'm Favorite the Cowboy, signing off.